All right, next section we'll go. We've done our warm up. Now look at our plyometrics. Best way I know how to do this, I'm going to try to go through each month's workout so you can kind of see what it is. So it might be a little bit easier to follow along in the video if it's keyed up with what workouts we're doing. First thing we'll do is some plyometrics. Now this first one, low box landings. Matter of fact, none of the plyometrics you'll do the first week, but the second week you'll start doing them. But again, we're trying to get warmed up. So the first one is called low box landings, and they're exactly what they sound like. Find a low box, a step, something no bigger than this would be good. And then what I want you to do is just kind of step off, all right, and then land and hold it. All right, now the biggest thing you want to work on not having some knee problems, not blowing out your knee. Biggest thing that happens is we just don't know how to land properly. So we're not going to jump off, we're going to step off, we're going to make sure both feet land at the same time. We want our feet equal distance apart, toes and heels, just like we're on skis. We'll give a little cushion. We bend forward just a little bit to cushion it. Chest is still up, so we step off and we land, hold it, step back up, not rushing. Boom, hold it. Check yourself as you land, as you come down. Boom, land, check. All right, are my feet good? Were they in? Were they out? Was I like this? That's your cue to work on some things. So that's our low box landings. Next plyometric for the first month, called pogo jumps. It's just jumps. We want minimal knee action in this. So we're just gonna, kind of like wall jumps. You can get on a wall and have a goal, try to touch it, get under the backboard, try to touch the backboard, have something, don't just jump. It's better to have a goal to work at, something that's just out of reach. So find a spot on the wall. Maybe it is the backboard or the net. But if you worked on this all summer, sooner or later you're going to be able to touch it. But have a goal. But again, we're just jumping as quick as we can and working on getting as high as we can. High as we can as we do it. So that's our pogo jumps. Next one's our box jumps. All right. So find a box if you can. It might be a step, that's fine. Get one that's going to challenge you a little bit, but you're just going to stand in front of it, get a good balance, jump, hold it, step off quickly. Be careful stepping off backwards. Again, it'd be better to step forwards off of it, but just take your time. Don't jump off of it, but take your time doing it. But you're here, and we want to try to hit the middle of it, and then take your time jumping off of it or stepping off of it. All right, now we'll start into our actual workout. You'll notice, read the beginning of the manual. It tells you what this 1A, 1B, 2A, all that means. All right, so our first one is our dumbbell squats for the first month. Again, we want to do a warm-up set. Again, and that can just be body squats, that's fine. And you want to challenge yourself as you increase it. So we're going to try to grab a couple dumbbells. Grab whatever you want. Make it challenging. All right, we're trying to hit the numbers, so pay attention how many sets, how many reps you need to do. If you're meeting those reps, if you're able to do all the workout, then the next week, the next time you do this, try to increase the weight a little bit. If you don't make the weight, then go down. If you don't make the reps, go down a little bit. That's okay. All right, your body's going to adjust. If you hit them every time, you've probably picked a pretty good weight. Let's try to increase it. First one is dumbbell squats. Hold your dumbbells like a suitcase. Toes and heels, same equal distance apart, just like you're on skis. Chest up, lock that back in. All right, we're gonna go down and then straight back up. Okay, now what I like to do is as I go down, all right, as you come up, get a little calf stretch there. That's not gonna hurt things. But we wanna make sure we're not leaning over. Let me get sideways for you. So we're here, chest is up, down, look just up a little bit. Don't look down. You look down, you have a tendency to want to do this right here. Okay, so that's dumbbell squats. Challenge yourself, work on correct form. I'd rather you do lightweight. I would rather you, if you couldn't do a lot of weight, I would rather you, as you're working on your form, just do those body squats right there. Work on something. If you're having trouble, toes are coming up, knees are coming in, you can't do anything, Find something to hold on to as you do it. So now we're here, all right, and I'll put my hands here, and I'll go down. That way if I start leaning back, this is gonna hold me. I can work on getting that stretch right there. But work on correct form. After dumbbell squats, dumbbell bench press. Again, get your dumbbells. Lay back on the bench. All right, straight up, straight back down. Right at the chest. All right, straight up, straight back down, just like you're doing a push-up. Straight up. All right, don't let the weights do that. Bend your wrist. Try to keep them straight. Here to here. All right, that's dumbbell. All right, next set of exercises, 2A, 2B on your workout. Straight leg deadlift, that's called SLDL, and the pull-ups are horizontal pull-ups. Straight leg deadlift you can do with a bar, or you can do with dumbbells again. You got your dumbbells, you'll hold them in front of you. Feet are closer together, not touching, but close together. You're gonna bend your knees slightly. I'll turn sideways so you can see it. Bend your knees slightly, lock that back in. All right, we're not gonna bend over, we're gonna push our hips back. When we push our hips back, our body automatically goes down. We wanna go here. As soon as we start doing that, that's too much. We wanna keep it here and then come back up. Right there. And again, you can use dumbbells, you can use a bar, works the same way. Next one is either pull-ups or what we call horizontal pull-ups. Now again, there's a difference. Pull-ups are always an overhanded grip. All right, your palms facing away from you. Chin-ups, your palms are facing you. All right, we're gonna do a pull-up. And again, you just wanna grab it about shoulder width apart. Again, make sure it's locked in. If you don't have access to that, you can buy a pull-up assist bar at Walmart, at any sports store, hooks onto your door, just slides in, slides out, so you don't have to mess with anything. That helps a lot. But you're gonna go from here, down, all the way. All right, doing as many as you can do. If that's too much, we can do a horizontal pull-up. So if you've got something, if you're in the gym, hook it on to a squat rack, something like that. We're gonna come underneath it. So we're gonna do the same thing. Overhand grip, palms out. Trying to keep our body as straight as possible. All right, right there. So if you're having trouble with the pull-ups, keep working on them. All right, I've challenged the girls already on the team. They can do 5 good pull-ups. When they report back, I have a little something special reward for them if they can do that. But if you can't do a pull-up now, don't think I can't ever do one, so why bother? Work on that, work on the horizontal pull-ups, and then every day just work on that. If you can't do one, your goal is to do one. If you can do one, your goal is to do 2. Don't think I've got to do 10. Just one more rep every time. So there's your horizontal pull-ups, regular pull-ups, and your straight leg deadlift. Next one is a dumbbell step up. Again, get your dumbbells, find a step, preferably a step where your leg will be 90 degrees. All right, so bench works great for me. You might have to adjust it for you, but we don't want it too low, we don't want it too high. But we're right there. We're gonna step up and we're gonna throw that leg forward and we're gonna step carefully back down with the same leg and then step off. And then step up, throw that knee up, right there. So we're working on that hip action to help us in sprinting. All right, so you do each leg each time, however many it says to do, you'll do that number for each leg. Next one on the 3 is a dumbbell overhead press. And again, if you don't have access to dumbbells, a lot of this stuff you can do with straight bars. There's no problem with that. Or you can hold plates. If you've got some place where you got free weights, you can hold them. Next one is just overhead press. You can sit down, it's fine. It says seated. I don't care if you stand up to do it. But seated dumbbell overhead press, just what it sounds like. You're here, and you're gonna press it up and down, up and down. That's fine, do it seated. I really like to do a lot of things standing up. because it helps with all those smaller muscles. So you can do it standing straight up too. Boom, up and down, up and down. So that's your dumbbell overhead press right there. Next one is your plate, a plate twist. Again, you can use a dumbbell, you can use a plate. But you're gonna take a plate, however you have it, all right? And we're just gonna twist back and forth, all right? Notice how my heels are twisted right there. So we're twisting back and forth here. If you want to add a little something to it, you can do the pick up and pick down. All right, watching your knees. But whatever it is, boom, getting that twist, working that core. One is, this is an inverted row. It's the same thing. We're going to come back over here to the horizontal bar. Inverted row, same thing as your horizontal pull-ups, except now we're going to do an underhanded grip when we do it. So earlier, if you did these instead of pull-ups, you did an overhanded grip with your palms away from you. Now we're going to do our palms facing us with a little bit narrow grip. Trying to get all the way up. If you're having trouble getting the reps, same thing with the pull-ups. If you're having trouble getting reps, it's okay. See how long you can hold it. Work on building some static strength there. But that's your inverted row with an underhanded grip. All right, the next two exercises, we got the dorsal flexion with the calf raise. When we're talking about dorsal flexion is anytime you go up on your heel, your toe points up towards your shin. That's the dorsal flexion. All right, so you get a dumbbell, you can get a weight. You're gonna hold it, not asking you to balance it, you're gonna hold it. All right, but we want to just raise it up, hold it for a couple seconds and go down. And raise it up and go down. So we're working on this muscle right here, working on the calf muscle. All right, but you can find out whatever weight you need to be able to hold it and go down. So again, you use a dumbbell or you can use just a regular plate. Last thing you got is medicine ball slams. You don't have a medicine ball, I guess you can use a regular basketball like this right here. But preferably, you don't have to bounce. You get a medicine ball if you got access to your high school weight room or a gym, someplace like that. They're gonna have some medicine balls. But we're just going here, and you're gonna slam it down as hard as you can. Grab it, good range of motion, slamming it down as hard as you can. Again, doesn't really work as well with the basketball. It's good to have that medicine ball so you've got that extra resistance, but you're just gonna slam it as hard as you can, just forward, and that's your medicine ball slams. All right, at the end of every workout, there's what's called a finisher. Finisher for this much is a plate push suicide. Exactly what it sounds like. Get you a towel, put it down, get you a weight, put that weight in there, wrap that towel up, get down, and do a suicide. Driving the legs, not coming up here, stay down, drive those knees, push off. Do a regular suicide, free throw line back, half court back, free throw line back, full court back. Okay, last thing is some post stretch. I like to use the bands. If you don't have bands, you can still do this without the bands. But help you on a cool down. Not so much going to help you with any kind of muscle soreness afterwards, but I think it's going to help increase our flexibility. We're warmed up, we should be able to stretch a little bit further. All right, so the first one, we'll do hamstrings. And again, I like to use the bands here because it helps get a little bit bigger stretch. So we'll we'll wrap them. We're gonna go back and we'll pull down with it. At the same time, I'm gonna push away. I'm gonna make sure I'm pulling where I don't pull completely away. I'm gonna push, I'm gonna count to 5 or 10, and I'm gonna relax my leg. And see how my leg went a little bit further that time. So I'm gonna hold that spot, 4, 3. So every time I go a little bit further. So I'll stretch a hamstring that way. If you don't have the bands, you can just do a 3-way stretch. Go here, working on stretching your hamstrings there. You stretch your groin, just a good butterfly. I like to keep the chest up. I even like to take my feet, put my thumbs in there, open it up like I'm trying to peel back a book. Right there, that's gonna help stretch that groin a little bit more, stretch that hip a little bit more. Low back and IT, wrap it again. We're gonna hold it with one hand, and we're gonna go across and look the other way. And now we're gonna stretch there. I'll do both legs that way. I like to do hip flexors, cross over, lay back, and now kind of pull right there. You should feel a good stretch right in your hip. But any kind of stretches you can do at the end, especially if we're working on our hips, will help our knees. One we like to do is called pigeon. You'll go into a yoga pose, downward dog right here. We're gonna kick our leg way up, and then we're gonna pull it through and kind of sit down on it right there, and you'll feel a good stretch right there. Trying to keep our leg up. If this is as high as you can go, that's fine. We're gonna work where we can get a little bit lower every time. As you come out of it very carefully. You walk yourself up. But there's your workout for the first month right there. It shows you all the exercises, all the warm-ups.